Hey, Hipster fans.
I know.
How do
okay.
you usually start? Hey, David.
Yeah, I should go, hey, David. But David is actually gone rogue. He's not here today, but I've gone rogue as well. I may look a little different environment. That's because I am in Las Vegas with my friend, Brian from Door Design Workshop. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming all this way to sunny and very, very cold Las Vegas.
It's beautiful. I don't think it's cold. It's better than Connecticut right now.
Well, when you've lived in Vegas for 20 years, this is cold for us.
Oh,
so
I bet.
it's a little chilly, but yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. I know you're in town for the National Kitchen and Bath Show called KBIS,
Yes.
as well as the International Bath Show, IBS.
Yes.
Builder Show.
Builder Show, yes.
Builder Show.
So we're here for those. We're actually here for a couple different reasons. We're here for the KBIS, the IBIS show, to visit with a bunch of our different customers. Obviously, to film this very special Hardware Hipsters Go Rogue episode, which is a little different without David. I have to say, I missed his presence a bit, but he will be. He'll be back eventually soon, in a couple months, and I think we have a great intern replacement. That intern.
All right. Interim replacement.
Yes,
I gotcha.
interim replacement.
Well, he's big shoes to fill, so I will do my best.
Yeah. So because we're here, different time zone, we're obviously maybe not obviously, but we're not drinking beer this morning.
Nope.
So today we are drinking coffee. We're going to have some Irish coffees. And instead of a local beer, we have a local coffee, Desert Wind Coffee Roasters, which you picked out yourself.
I did. They roasted on site and true Vegas-y feel. I did the Area 51 blend.
I get it now. I didn't get it at first. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, it's straight north.
Yeah,
we're not supposed to talk
now.
about it,
Yeah.
but it is there. So very secretive. So. So we're gonna have a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You're gonna pour the whiskey since you're more used to drinking in the morning than I am.
Oh yeah,
so
exactly.
We'll throw some coffee in there.
Yeah.
We did already put some Baileys in.
Yes. So this is a true Irish coffee, which is nice.
Which was always fun when you buy Baileys at 7:30 in the morning. People kind of give you some sideways looks, right?
That's okay though. It's for coffee. It's for breakfast. You know.
And I kind of looked at it and I'm like, I'm Vegas. Really?
You would
people
think.
drink in the morning here, and they look at me like I'm the bad guy, but that's all right.
Just blame it on the Hardware Hipsters. Exactly.
Right?
So, it is really nice and special for us to be here because, one, you're a Hardware Hipster super fan.
Super fan.
Very exciting.
Yep.
I know, which I can't believe you've actually watched all the videos. But also because we've been friends for a long time. We've known each other since I started 9 years ago.
Day one.
Yeah, he was one of the first customers that I ever spoke to, and that's when I was still, completely green and didn't know anything about anything. And we've kind of evolved together. We have a really great relationship. And they have a really great outfit here in Vegas. So do you want to kind of give us a little bit of information about what you guys do and your process and all the fun stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So company I own with my business partner Josh, who's kind of floating around back here. You hear a voice back there, that's him. We do doors and hardware, and we also do handle the installation side as well. So we came together as a team because doors and hardware has always kind of been separated, right?
Yeah, always.
There's the door guys way over there, and there's the hardware guys way over there.
They're not talking.
No.
Yeah.
But we brought it all under one house, and so we have a very kind of different, unique process. We believe in working with the architect and designers, getting our hardware specified on the project as well as the doors, and then that kind of filters down to the builder. So, and I'm very transparent about our goal. Like, we're trying to get on the spec before the builder's pick.
Yeah,
that way
makes
we
sense.
can handle budgeting and have kind of everything pre-picked out.
Yeah.
Instead of stuff being a surprise. So so that's why we built the showroom.
Beautiful.
Designed in a specific way. As you can see, it's nice and open, but
very open.
We just didn't want a lot of clutter and different things everywhere. So way on the other side, if you'd open those doors, that's where all the hardware is.
Yeah, that's where all our fun stuff is. And they actually had a big party here last night, which was exciting. So this big open space was full of people and food and drinks, and that was really nice.
Yeah, I think we had about 100 people last night.
Yeah,
and,
it was a good party.
Yeah.
I'm still tired.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so am I.
I bet.
So we had to come in this morning, get it nice and clean for the show.
Yeah. I did this high budget show that we're doing.
I mean, what people don't see on the Hipster is the back room over there and just the people
The craft table over
the
here.
craft table
Yeah. You know.
And of course, the craft table is just the leftover crumble cookies on the
Exactly. Yeah, that's fine.
Right?
The leftover big bottle of Jameson from the party last night. We didn't actually drink all of this before.
No.
Just that was from last night. So just a disclaimer on that.
Day is still young.
It actually is still young, and I'm going to be going back to the conference today. It's the last day of the shows, and we've kind of walked the shows together. We walked the shows independently. What I don't know. What do you think? How did it go? What did you get out of it?
Well, I thought it was a good show.
Yeah.
Like anything, I'm always a little. I grew up in this business when KBIS was like the show.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Where all the premium manufacturers went, like from like a Dornbrock to a Vitroform, Stoneforth, Valiant Valley was there.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain. Like all the premium brands were there, and it's just kind of filtered out over the years because their dealer base is more mature, so they don't really need KBIS to pull in dealers and help.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I still enjoy going to the show, and one of the things I always like to look at is plumbing. Because I think plumbing sets the trend in hardware just because they're a little more fashion forward than door hardware people are.
Yeah, door
Especially
hardware takes a little bit longer to evolve. Like those trends take a bit longer to, you could kind of predict them by looking at what's going on in plumbing.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, whenever I try to figure out kind of what's next, be it lever design, and more finishes, and I kind of like, what are they doing this year, which means we'll do next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I mean, there were some wild finishes that I saw in plumbing and in like the kitchen and bath design. They're going really retro from what I could see. There was like tons of colors, which I mean, not to like age myself, but I grew up with that in like the 80s. And like, it was like, I'm getting like strong flashbacks to like my aunt's house and like a green sink, that they had. That was really interesting to see. And so there was like pinks, purples, really kind of retro 70s, 80s. But then there's also like the really modern side of it too. And that's when we get into like the blacks, the golds, the bronzes. You were seeing a lot of that there. Yeah,
I was seeing kind of the evolution of bronze and black. Right?
Yeah.
I know that's one of the things that we're going to talk about today.
Oh, yeah.
But black is interesting, right? So and we've kind of seen it on over the last 3 months as far as how black is evolving. Right?
Yeah.
So black started. It's pretty simple, right? Like,
it's black.
Here's our lever. We're gonna powder coat it.
Yeah, very
or
flat.
knob or whatever, right? So it's always flat black. And everything kind of looked the same outside of people who were using or powder coating bronze.
Yeah.
So you saw kind of the waves. Think like Ashley Martin. So, but then Formani came along.
Mm-hmm. They have beautiful finishes.
And they're black. With more of a PVD stainless, and so you have to see kind of the texture in the lever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love, right?
They do.
So now you add movement to the lever as far as design.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that trend kind of evolve again.
Okay.
With more, these are samples I pulled, of course, but with more of a graphite type finish, like a dark gray.
That's really nice. And you can see still the texture of this of the steel underneath it, which is really nice. Because when you do a powder coat, it's coated. You don't see anything. It's just gone. Yeah. Which is nice in certain applications. But this natural seeing the grain is really nice.
Yeah. So, and I know that we have talked about this over the years.
Oh, God. So we've talked about everything over the years.
But now we get into the challenge of whenever door hardware jumps into this world, and especially when we talk to architects and designers, right? Like they don't always understand that this manufacturer makes trim. Yeah. This manufacturer doesn't make
the lock or
the
flash bone
or the hinges.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So lots of times in hardware we're restricted on all the finishes we can offer based on the butt hinge that we're trying
It's
to
true.
match,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, half of my job is like color matching and finish matching, and it takes forever. But I know now throughout the years that Formani's bronze matches Halliday and Bailey's Electro Medium bronze, which matches Tectis bronze metallic, and like going through those and knowing all that, it's a lot, and everybody's finishes is a little bit different, and having to match those up, it's so much work.
Yep, and we did a project together.
We did,
out at the summit.
That's how I figured all that out.
And we were going back and forth about, okay, this is our Formani lever, and what hinge we're going to use.
Yeah.
And if you remember, we didn't have a butt hinge to match it, so we ended up using the Rocky Mountain bronze medium. And when I delivered the job, I put white gloves in there because at Patina's, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, you cannot touch these
Don't touch that hinge.
So I was like getting white gloves. I'm like, don't touch my hinges.
That's funny.
So strike plates.
Yeah.
You know, that's always an issue, right?
Oh,
because
yeah.
that comes from a different vendor.
Of course.
But we made that work, and everything looks good on the job.
That's great. Yeah, that was a tough one. We did have to finish match everything together as best as we could, and we did. It ended up really beautiful. It was lovely. We're going to insert a picture here right now. Exactly.
Right there or over there,
I think
right?
it'll be right here is where the picture's going to go.
But it was one of those projects that, you know, that's how good hardware people learn, right?
It is, yeah.
You learn through trial and error. There's no book that says, like, oh, if you want to do this finish in Fermani, you need to take that finish in Pocket Hardware. So
No.
do Pocket Hardware.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a good
That's
one.
why people like you exist, you know?
Well, not me, maybe you, but...
Well, both of us.
But,
it's our only reason in life is to color match hardware,
yes.
but...
But I think that's an important thing to kind of point out, especially when we're dealing with architects, because I know you and I work on the spec side quite a bit.
Yeah.
But like explaining to them that, like, I know you want this.
Yeah.
But I can't match
I know.
this to a hinge, and sometimes they don't always well, just put it in this finish.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let me call Tectus and
Yeah,
say,
yeah. Oh, I mean,
need that finish done, right?
Yeah.
So,
Of course.
or you know, especially the butt hinges, where we're really limited
Yeah.
on basically 8 finishes, maybe 10.
Yeah.
If you you know, kind of go off script a little bit, but some of those finishes are just kind of too old school that don't really apply to today. Like
It's
some of
so
the antique
true.
ones,
Yeah.
the brasses, I should say. So yeah.
Well, that's always tough, you know, but again, that's why we exist in this world, is to make everyone's hardware dreams come true.
Very true.
Yeah, so one other thing that I pulled from the show, and I'm sure that you noticed this too, and it's a trend that's happening all over the world, is just really big pivot doors.
Yes.
We've been seeing a ton of those at the show, more at the IBS versus the KBIS Kitchen and Bath, and IBS's International Builder Show. That was just a big pivot door that fell.
Yeah, just dropped his lifting it by himself.
Yeah. Hopefully he's okay.
Right.
But yeah, so what do you think about that? I mean, do you see, like, in everyday specs, are you seeing more pivot doors come up or often? Like, is that...
Yeah, like we see it in locations in the house, right?
Mhm.
Like we see it as far as like in our kitchen over here, we see double acting pantry type doors.
Oh yeah, we have the Fritz Jurgens installed here. So if you're in Vegas and you want to see a Fritz Jurgens System M and a beautiful door, come to Door Zone Workshop.
Yeah, and this is probably where they insert the B-roll.
Me playing with the door. Yeah.
And then me like, no, it's like, you're like, oh, okay, right? So
we'll have to do that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
we're like, come on,
I know.
But then we also see, like, you know, focal points, right? So maybe big pivots are kind of like the new barn door, right?
Mhm.
Like where you're going into an office, or you're doing the master bedroom,
Definitely.
and different things like that. So
yeah.
But at the show, a lot of these manufacturers were entry door pivot doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Mostly all European. Or there's a large pivot door company, and of course I'm blanking on the name.
Mm-hmm.
Good show prep by me, naturally, right? But like it's out of Brazil.
It's okay, we wing it anyway.
But they were doing, you know, aluminum type clad doors,
Mhm.
11 feet wide, up to 23 feet tall.
Oh yeah.
But what I noticed about all these companies, all these pivot door companies, was they're actually finally using good hardware.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fritz Jurgen all over the place.
Yeah.
Atmer pivots, or maybe the Planet pivot.
The drop seals. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pivots, excuse me.
I know.
Yeah, you're right. Drop seals at the top and the bottom. They were sealing it properly.
Yeah,
But-
you have to for an exterior door. Yeah.
So when I see Simpson Door, who's not traditionally been known for high-end luxury doors, start
they're doing
using premium hardware, that's
It's a shift.
That's
Yeah.
encouraging, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Texas hinges as well
Yes.
on some of these doors.
Yeah.
So there's a company out of Europe called Glenview Doors that
Very European
was-
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? With the script writing on the logo.
Yeah.
Like, oh, right. So but they had Tectus and they had Fritz Jurgen. And I'm like,
Okay.
all right, someone
Once you
gets
see
it, right?
that.
Like
Yeah,
they're starting
absolutely.
to understand functionality and not just kind of worrying about the door and
Well,
more
yeah.
about the hardware that's attached to it.
That, and then also longevity of what they're doing. You know, you don't want to have to replace hardware down the line, and you don't want to have to. You want to have hardware that's adjustable so you can tweak it.
Yeah.
And I think that there are a lot of manufacturers are coming around to that, and they're realizing that. So that's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to be going back to the show this afternoon and maybe come up with some new hot takes that we can do a second virtual episode on.
Yeah, right. Like the follow up where we can like be a little more judgmental. Like,
exactly.
did you see that multi-point system?
That one
the trim they put on there.
Yeah.
So how do you have a walnut door with satin chrome hardware? It doesn't match.
That
right?
lever was so saggy, gross.
As we look at each other like,
I know, get out of here.
Right.
Well, I do want to thank you again for everything, for all the hospitality. Brian has been taking us. We went to dinner together with our whole Bridgeport Worldwide team and his team and the party last night, and just everything has been so great. And I just want to thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's been long overdue.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And as you know, I've been a hipster super fan.
You are.
For years.
It's so funny.
Before we filmed the episode, I went back and rewatched all the episodes so I could kind of get the mannerisms like that.
Oh God, stop it!
And so I'm hoping over time that I'll get to be able to watch more episodes, and maybe Bridgeport will fly me in on their private jet.
Oh yeah.
Film some episodes if David's not back yet.
Yes.
But yeah, big fan of the Hipsters. I'm glad I could be here.
Thank you.
And I got my pen too.
I was gonna say, why weren't you wearing it?
I know, it's on my bag. And when you guys sent it to me, you sent me two.
Yes.
And I know that was meant so I could give it to someone else, but I didn't.
Wow.
I kept them both because I looked at it as kind of like a status thing, almost like the Academy Award for door hardware.
Well, yes, obviously.
And if I got two of them, that means I was kind of like the best supporting and best actor.
Yes, well, I mean that's what was my intention.
Yeah,
so you read that right,
and I earned it.
You did.
Right?
You absolutely have.
I'm like, yes. So
well, you've earned it, and you have earned a place in our hearts. So thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Oh, that wasn't even on purpose. It's lovely. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Stop it! Oh God, sorry.